Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Bumper here, back today with a new video. Okay, so this is my monthly video for February where we're going to have a little look at all the Blu-rays, 4Ks and DVDs I bought. I'll talk about some I've watched. I'll go through a little bit of my watch list of what I watched in the last month just to see if there's anything to tickle your fancy. Okay, so we'll make a start then. First of all, we'll go through the stuff I bought. We'll start off with the DVDs. Excuse me. No one's too interested in these, so we'll get them out of the way. So first one I bought was Keanu. Got this from the charity shop. It was £5 for £1, so 20 pence. Didn't have it in the collection. I don't mind these sort of urban comedies, urban gangster films. Yeah, so that's Keanu. I got this one with Jennifer Lopez. I got one with Jennifer Lopez. I watched quite a few Jennifer Lopez films lately. This one's called Angel Eyes. Okay, so again, it was cheap. I seen it in the charity shop, so I thought, why not? Now, another one I got, this is at a 4K recently, I think from Kino, but I'm never going to buy the 4K. It's Cry Baby with Johnny Depp. I've seen it in the charity shop, directed by John Waters. Wouldn't usually be my type of film, but John Waters is my type of director. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting into it at some point. Cry Baby. And then I got Troll Hunter. All right, so I seen the premiere of this at Fright Fest years ago. Really good, really use of a low budget, really impressive practical effects considering what they were working with. Okay, so found footage film. I think it's like from Finland or Sweden or somewhere. Just about these people who are out in the woods searching for these trolls. And yes, found footage, pretty good. And the last one I got, so £5 for £1, I got Doom, which is a terrible film, but I used to have it on 4K. Watched it, didn't like it, sold it, but just thought if I'm ever fancying it again in a few years, just to see if my mind changes, at least I got it on DVD then. So sold the 4K, swapped it with a DVD, no problem. All right, then some more then. So there was a Vinegar Syndrome, wasn't really a sale. It was, but they had a couple of titles on offer. It wasn't a Valentine's Day one, it was before then. It was when they released Iced. So I grabbed this Memorial Day Massacre, or Memorial Valley Massacre. I've heard this film, it's terrible, and there was a time I could have got it with a slip, but it's one of these titles now, the once it's gone, it's never coming back, and it is running low, so for £7.50, I just thought I'd grab it. Then it was an 88 film sale as well, and they had films as down low as £1.88. A lot of them were like £6.88. You could see they were using the 88 vibe. I got these two, both for £1.88. So these cost me £3.60 odd. And yeah, this one wasn't very good, Mind Ripper. I thought it was directed by Wes Craven, but he's only like a producer. It's directed by someone called Joe Cainton. I don't even know what was going on in the end. People crawling through the walls. I just didn't get it at all. It's going to be The Hills Have Eyes 3, this was, but then they changed the name to Mind Ripper, which I'm not surprised, because it's going to have to do with The Hills Have Eyes, cannibals or whatever. Fell asleep watching it, not had any rush to go back. The Hollow Man, still haven't opened this one yet. I've seen it a million times, got it on DVD, but I thought for £1.88 I'm just going to grab it. It's pretty good 90s. Is it 90s or early noughties? Or 2000. So yeah, pretty decent. Elizabeth Shue, Kevin Bacon, obviously. Surprised Elizabeth Shue takes the headline there, to be fair, but still, yeah, so pretty good film. They do that lovely box set with part 1 and 2 with the awesome artwork on, but I've never got around again. I probably never will, so I just grabbed that one. All right, then we had, well, I'll go try and do it in some sort of order. I'll go back to the Vinegar Syndrome. So, along with that Memorial Valley Massacre, I got Iced. Okay, so everyone has been after this one. It was rumoured that it was going to sell out really fast. It didn't go as fast as people suggested, but it has gone now with the slipcover, so I'm glad I bought it. I very rarely buy from Vinegar Syndrome outside of a sale, because, you know, paying £20 postage, only buying 1 or 2 films can seem a little bit of a waste. So, but I wanted this one before I went, so it's Iced. So I haven't watched this one yet. It's from their Degossa range, so what that means is it will be shot on video, so it won't be for everyone. I've heard this movie's pretty boring when there's no kills happening, but it's like a bit of cinematic history, not like of popular commercial movies, but this one's been really hard to get for a long time and really sought after, so it's just nice to have it in some sort of remastered form. So it's a slasher like about these kids up in the mountains, is it, in a ski resort, I assume, something like that. Then they just end up being picked off by a killer. So I will get around to that one, but I haven't had my motivation peaked really, because a lot of people said it wasn't very good. But I am going to get around to it, because it's my sort of film. I'll get it watched sooner rather than later. And this one was another one just down to like £7 or whatever, Psycho Girls. This one isn't as old as some of the others, but I can only assume it's had like really bad word of mouth, or it just didn't sell well because they're selling these at pennies now. And it's still got a slipcover as well. Pretty groovy looking guy on the back there in his mask and whatever. And you've got this crazy looking bloody Joe Spinell wannabe by her. So yeah, definitely check it out. I haven't got a clue what it's about. It looks like it's about some sort of carnival or something, maybe. It says it's set in 1966. I can't see there's got anyone famous attached to it or anything. So that is Psycho Girls. Okay, then there wasn't a lot out in February that was really tickling my fancy. I didn't really need a lot of the Arrow releases because I already had them on Blu-ray and I didn't feel the need to upgrade. So I took the chance to get a couple of bits from Film Treasures. And I've got some films that I've had on my watch list for years and years, and I've just never come across them, or the time's just never been right to watch them. So we'll come to them as we go now. The first one I got from Film Treasures then is Classic Ghosts. All right, so you've got Susan Sarandon on the front there. This is like a not really like a TV show, but it was 5 feature-length horror movies made for TV, but they were made with a certain aesthetic. It says on the back, virtually unseen since their late-night airings on ABC television in 1973. Classic Ghosts is a series of 5 feature-length teleplays shot on videotape in the style of daytime dramas and beautifully preserved by the UCLA Film and Television Archive. So it's 5 ghost stories, but they're going to have a little bit of like TV melodrama about them by the sound of it. But I love things where you see like actors that you know from modern times in older stuff, like Susan Sarandon on the front there. Look how young she looks on there, like, you know, absolutely awesome. It's got 5 films on here. So The Haunting of Rosalind, that's the one with Susan Sarandon in. It's got The Screaming Skull with David McCallum. It's got The Deadly Visitor with Perry King and James Keach. The House and the Brain with Keith Charles. And the other one is called And the Bones Came Together with Lawrence Luckenbill. Okay, so I only really recognise Susan Sarandon from the names on there. They're all directed by women. Lila Swift, Gloria Monte, and, oh no, this one's a man, I think, Henry Kaplan. But yeah, so this is really interesting, really good. This sold out the first time on Film Treasures. I thought I was never going to get it because you can order from Kino in the UK. They don't deliver, and it was just ridiculously expensive everywhere else I was looking, but they had it back. Classic Ghost. A little tip with Film Treasures as well is they do a great section, new, where everything new pops up that they have in. But if they have restocks, they don't put it in a new section. So if you ever are hoping for somebody to come back and start, you do need to keep an eye on it yourself. So Classic Ghosts. Then this is a film, I've been wanting to see this for so many years. I don't know the reasons why I've never really watched it, but I typed it into Film Treasures to see if there was any sort of, I typed in the Blu-ray database to see if there was any releases on Blu-ray. It come up with one, and I searched on Film Treasures, and unbelievably, they had 1 copy still there. Angst. Okay, so this is like one of the very first home invasion thrillers. It's from 1983. I think it's German. It's not directed by what's his name? Joe Buttigieg, or whatever his name is, who done Necromantic. But there is an interview with him and director Gerald Cargol, so I don't know if maybe he produced it. But yeah, so it's German. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a home invasion movie. I don't know too much about it, but I know it's supposed to be really heavy. I don't know why I wanted the video nasty. Maybe it came out a bit too late. But anyway, I'm buzzing for this one. I only got these the other day. That's why I haven't watched it yet. But Angst. That'll probably be tonight's viewing. I get the kids in bed early enough. All right, then the next one I got, another Kino one from Film Treasures. Black Sabbath. Okay, so this is by Mario Bava. Again, I wanted to watch this one for years and years because I've seen loads of like imagery from it, like, you know, the drip of water or whatever it's called with that, you know, I don't know, well, I don't want to call it like that, ghost on the bed or gaunt and whatever. And I've always wanted to watch it. And then the other day, I was going through like some of the free streaming apps on the telly, and I found one called Plex. And it's pretty good. There's loads of good films on it, and this was on this, so I watched it, and oh my god, it was amazing. I gave it 5 stars straight away on my letterbox, so I knew I needed to have it so I can watch it in better quality. So I got it now. So there's 3 short stories on here. I like 3 short stories because it gives them time to breathe. When you have 5, and they be cut a bit short, they're not always the best to get the character development, but these 3 are wicked. So the first one is about this woman, and some guy she used to date or something, or some guy who's obsessed with her. He breaks out of like the funny farm, and she thinks he's coming after her, and she's having all these funny phone calls, but there's a bit more mystery to it than that, and it's really good. The women are so good looking in that. The second one is the Vordelak. It might not be called the Vordelak, but it's about the Vordelak. No, it is called the Vordelak. So the Vordelak is an old Russian fable about a vampire, but it's a vampire who feeds on his nearest and dearest. And yes, it was a short about that, look. And then the other is the Drop of Water. So that's absolutely awesome as well, about a woman who does a seance and then she's haunted by this ghost back in her house. I think she does a seance or something anyway. But yeah, I'm buzzing to watch this one again in higher quality. I love anthology movies, so for me to find one now, like, 40 years into my movie movie watching, they're so good that I've never seen before. It's flabbergasted really. Mario Bava's a bit of a legend to me lately. Some of the films I've been watching from the 60s of his, absolutely awesome. So Black Sabbath. And then two major ones then, two 4Ks from Umbrella, straight from Film Treasures. I haven't watched this one yet. Pulse. Okay, so this is the Japanese horror. So this is one of the best Japanese horrors. I think I was saying on the last video that I was a little bit underwhelmed with Japanese cinema. I've been trying to get through some of the more out there stuff, and it hasn't done it for me. But I love the more commercialized stuff. So Pulse is amazing. I can't wait to watch this on 4K. This will go lovely alongside like Ring and Grudge and all that caper. So it's from Umbrella. It's limited edition, 3,500. So it's 4K. I didn't get much of this one. We're going to open this one up because I feel like I do the odd unboxing on this video. Alright, so got the J card. Just take that off, and then there's the cover, and the spine, and then there's the Amaray case and the back. If you can see the features, if it'll focus on that, probably won't. And then you've got nice 2-disc set. I don't know why they insist on putting this clear tray in. It looks stupid. Clear and black. Just do a black tray. What's the matter with them? I know it's got reversible art. Usually has it without the age rating. So you've got the age label there, and then if you reverse it, you just get the same cover without that minion age rating thing. It's a bit not very cosmetic for the cover. So yeah, that's fine, and that's Pulse. Looking forward to that one. Then the other one I've got, this video cover I used to see in the video shop all the time, and it like never used to freak me out, but it used to like what's the word, intrigue me, like, but I never got around to seeing it, and I forgot about it. And then when I seen the 4K from Umbrella, I was like, oh, that film, Thesis, okay, or Theses. So this is a wicked film, right? This is a Spanish horror thriller from 1996, limited edition. You can see the numbers there on the back. So I watched this one as soon as it came. It looks like it's still got the cellophane on, but I done a Rock God and a John Mondo. Just cut the top so I could take it out, so you could still have the nice, see the nice HDR and all when I unboxed it. So yeah, so this is wicked. It's about this girl, Angela. She's doing a thesis on audio violence, and like she's watching, well, she's not watching, she gets her hands on a snuff movie basically, and she firstly, like they always do in these films, she wants to find out if it's real or not, and when she finds out it's real, she wants to get to the bottom of it. She hooks up with this other guy, like he's a bit bit of a loose cannon, but he's trying his best to help, I suppose. But there's loads of twists and turns in this. It's not really a horror in the sense of it's gory or anything, but it's really edge of the seat stuff. You will be like constantly guessing and on the edge of your seat. For a 2-hour and 10-minute runtime, it went like that. I gotta be fair, I was really into this movie. It really gripped me. So yeah, I was really glad I took the risk on this one, blind buying. I knew it was going to be good by all the word of mouth and whatever, and I've always, like I said, it's always been on my radar, but glad to finally see it. So that's Thesis. So I may as well just take the cellophane off now, because I don't do that with all my releases, just tear a little bit so I can take them out. What colour are my eyes? And then I already flipped the art to get rid of the MPAA rating or whatever they call it. I don't think you'll be able to see those bonus features on the back there. They wrote in really small writing. I haven't had a chance to get into the bonus. I only watched it last night. Getting a clear tray, like, it's not doing anything for the aesthetic. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Usually I fall asleep on a Sunday night watching a film, but I stayed awake till gone 11 watching this one, so can't be bad. So this is definitely a bumper recommendation. This is, if I was going to do a film of the month, this would be the one. So, check it out. Thesis. And then some Arrow stuff then. So first one we got then, it's not really due out until sometime in March, but they always do this, Arrow. If you order off the site, half the time we get the films like 3 or 4 weeks before, just when they're ready to go. I've seen the Deep Blue Seas have started to land. So anyway, this is Don't Torture a Duckling. Okay, so wicked cover on this one. This is a Lucio Fulci. People call it a giallo. I suppose it does have the things of a giallo, but it's got some sort of witch elements as well to it. So yeah, I've fallen asleep. Every time I tried to watch this 3 times, I've fallen asleep. I even stuck this 4K on the other day and fell asleep, so I can't give you my full reviews. I tell you, it looks amazing. There's definitely nothing wrong with the 4K transfer or the sound, or there's no errors or anything on the disc as far as I'm aware. Normal slipcover, thin type slipcover. Don't know why they didn't do a big box on this, but I don't suppose it matters. I've already flipped the artwork to the old school one. The other artwork I'm pretty sure is the same as the slipcover, but it's a bit different if you want to have a little look. It's quite nice and newly commissioned. It's probably better than the old school, but I don't know, like especially with the giallos, there's something about the old school art that I don't know, it just makes it look cool as. So I don't know if you can see the back on there, loads of extras and special features. I haven't got into them yet. I'm trying to see if there's any like documentaries. There's a video essay by Kat Allinger. Lucio Fulci remembers a rare 1988 audio interview. Just interviews, theatrical trailer, a couple of audio commentaries, so not much in the way of documentaries or talking head information type bits, but yeah, still wicked. So that's from Arrow, that's Don't Torture a Duckling. And the other ones, he should have come in January really, but I explained what happened in my last video. First one is The Gift. Okay, so lovely slipcover on this one, got like a bit of a velvety feel. I don't know if it's velvet, it's hard to explain, but it just feels lush anyway. And then you've got all that on the back, tons of extras, absolute tons. So this film's directed by Sam Raimi. It's got an amazing cast: Cate Blanchett, Giovanni Ribisi, Keanu Reeves, Katie Holmes, who gets up upside, Greg Kinnear, Hilary Swank. It's a bit of like a it's a supernatural movie, but it's also a bit of like a melodramatic, like whodunit that you kind of see on like ITV or whatever. Like, there's a woman, Katie Holmes' character, she's gone missing, or if they find her murdered, I can't remember. And all the eyes are pointing at Keanu Reeves because he's a bit of a beer swiller and a bit of a misogynist or whatever, like, and he's been shagging her behind her husband's back or whatever, but it gets a bit more twisty than that. Like, Cate Blanchett plays second fiddle to most of the characters in this. I gotta be fair, she's the main star, like, but I thought Giovanni Ribisi was really good in it. He's an underrated actor, that boy, fair dues. So yeah, so this was pretty good. I didn't give it an amazing rating on Letterboxd. I think I'm going to give it like 2 out of 5 because I did think it was a little bit, it wasn't as good as A Simple Plan that I watched a couple of nights before, and my expectation was probably a bit high, but I don't know, I can find the way they speak with these deep Southern American accents. I can't always understand them, and they sort of like mumble, I find it hard, but the subtitles on sometimes to see what they're saying. But overall, good package, wicked slipcover. This is only the Blu-ray. I didn't get the 4K because Arrow, bless their hearts, they'll do 3 Blu-rays for 45 quid, even if they're brand new. So if it's got a new remaster on Blu-ray and 4K, sometimes I will grab the Blu-ray because I can get 3 of them for, for £45, £15 each, brand new releases. You can't fault that, so that's The Gift. Then I got The Cell. So I got The Cell on Blu-ray as well, because like I said, you can get 3 for £45. And the other film I got is A Terminal Man, but it's just not out yet, so it hasn't been delivered. So this is The Cell with Jennifer Lopez, Vince Vaughn, and Vincent D'Onofrio. All right, so this is a 90s mind bender of a movie. I don't remember seeing it in the 90s, although obviously I remember when it came out and all the buzz around it, but I just don't think I ever got round to it. It's a bit of a Seven rip-off. These serial killers in the 90s, serial killer films were quite popular. This one takes a bit sci-fi edge because Jennifer Lopez is like a social worker, usually like with kids, and they hire her to get inside the mind of this serial killer because somehow he's ended up in a comatose state and he's got a victim drowning somewhere in a big I don't know, like a big vat of water that's filling up slowly. So Angelina Jolie's got to go in his mind and try and find out where this girl's hidden. So yeah, it's pretty good. Like, got some wicked special effects, visual effects, well acted, I would say. Vince Vaughn's cool in it. Like, it's funny seeing him looking so young and fresh faced. There's a problem with the director's cut on this. Everyone knows about it now. Arrow haven't said they're going to replace it, which is fine by me. There's just a scene like where Jennifer Lopez is in bed watching cartoons, and you should see the whole scene where she's watching cartoons, and then it switches to another scene where she's like in a desert, in like a dreamscape. And on the director's cut, they put the dreamscape scene over the top of the scene where she's in the bed, so you can hear the volume, the noise of the cartoons going. The audio is of the cartoons going where they're watching them in bed, but what you're seeing on the screen is the shots of the desert. So it's a little bit off-putting, but it only lasts a couple of seconds. And if you've got a real problem with it, you just stick the theatrical cut on and watch that bit. It happens right at the start, like 10 minutes in, so you can watch the theatrical cut for the first 10 minutes and then put the director's cut on if it means that much to you. But I'm not too bothered about it. So The Cell. I think I gave this 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I thought it was a pretty good film. Did I watch any of the extras on here? I'm not sure I did. It was audio commentaries I never bother with, and everything else was archive on that disc. I think I did watch a couple of these on the second disc. I remember switching the disc over, which is always a pain in the ass. There's the film scholar Alexandra Helen Nicholas doing a visual essay. Listen to that. That was pretty good. And oh, that's it. There was an interview with the director, and it was on for like an hour and a half. I couldn't believe it. Like, they're in his house, he's there in his like robes, whatever. Like, and he's like he's like, I wouldn't say he's weird. He's like a cool guy, but he's a bit niche. Like, he's a bit off kilter. But yeah, there's an interview that goes on for an hour and a half with him. Like, and he loves this movie, the way he talks about it. He's an Indian guy. He is. What's his name? Tarsim Singh. Yeah, so it's worth watching. Like, he is a character fair dude. Hour and a half interview. God damn. The Cell. All right, then we get on to a couple of bits from 88 Films that were part of the releases in February. First one I got then, Sex and Zen. Okay, so this is a Cat 3 Chinese movie. So I think everyone knows what Cat 3 is these days, but it was just a rating system introduced to China in the late 80s because they had no grip on, you know, who was watching what. So it basically just means it's an 18, but it came in later in China. And what had happened in China is when they introduced it, it gave filmmakers an excuse then to go make more messed up movies, whereas before they wouldn't make them because they just know there was like no way of segregating them from everything else that was coming out, I suppose, differentiate them. But then they had the age rating. Everyone was like, right, let's make loads of Cat 3 horrors and whatever. So Sex and Zen anyway. So I haven't watched this one yet. I'll explain to you why I haven't watched it in a minute. But you can see on the back there, it looks a little bit erotic. So with Cat 3, they can either be gory, erotic. If they have anything to do with triads, it could be a melodrama about a triad falling in love. It would still be classed as Cat 3, and this falls under the erotic banner, I think, more than anything gross. But sometimes you have a mixture of it all. So it's got a lovely side loading slip. The slip's amazing, like it's all embossed on the letters, all the pinks nice and shiny. Cover inside, I don't know if I reversed it, I can't remember. But that's that one. And then the reversible is just the same as the slip cover. And then you've got a booklet, which I like booklets in foreign releases because it's always good stuff to learn. Don't never know it all about Hong Kong cinema or other places in the world. Tend to know most of the American stuff and the British stuff that goes on. We've got a nice thick poster here as well. Wicked artwork if you're into it, fair dues. I'm slightly into it, but I'm more into the gory stuff than the erotic stuff, I gotta be fair. So I haven't watched this one yet then, and I'll tell you why. So that's Sex and Zen, that's still to be watched. The reason I watched it is because I got this one as well. The erotic ghost story trilogy from 88 Films. So again, these are 3 Cat 3 movies. You can see the Cat 3 label there. You've got erotic ghost story 1, 2 and 3. Here's the back there. So these are 3 movies. I'd never seen any of them before, but I'm slowly going on a Cat 3 adventure. I've seen like most of the Anthony Wong stuff and most of the gory stuff now. There's some more hardcore stuff I need to see, like Red to Kill. And I know 88 and Vinegar Syndrome are bringing out Devil Fetus and Nowhere to Hide. Is that what it's called soon? Or I think that's what it's called. They both look really good. So yeah. So anyway, so I didn't watch Sex and Zen because I just had a guts full really. I watched all 3 of these basically on the bounce, and I just couldn't face another 90 minutes of bloody Chinese women naked. I know it sounds thing, but like I just overdone it. So first of all, like lovely box, nice and thick as you'd expect. They've done a few sets like this, and with Species, Urban Legends, Anaconda. So yeah, so that's really nice. I don't know why they didn't do the American Pies in one of these. That would have been wicked. All 4 American Pies in one of these boxes. But hey ho. So yeah, so that's the slip anyway. And then you've got the films then. So there's your first one, Erotic Ghost Story 1. Okay, so the shining light with this one is it's got Amy Yip in it. So Amy Yip is really attractive, lovely body. But she's it's shot very tastefully in this. Like you don't really get the shots of her you want. The other women in it are just naked all the time. But Amy Yip, like, because she's a bit more I don't know what the word is. She could probably call her own shots a bit more, so you don't get quite the same images of her as the other girls. But anyway, stop waffling. So anyway, so 3 girls basically, and they go round sort of what's the word I'm looking for? They go around sort of teasing men like into trying it on with them, trying to rape them, like a bit of bloody, what do they call it in America, like when you set someone up? But and then they turn into, and then the men start having their wild ways with them, and then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, they turn into these old hags, and the bloke's like, ah, and whatever. But they come across this evil demon, and he's after them, because really they're demons. They're like these wolf people or something. Like, it's hard to explain, but like you see them when they're in the mirror, that they got these wolf masks on, and he's like a three-headed demon. You can see him on the back there. It's bonkers, like. But he comes after these women, basically this three-headed demon, and they gotta fight him. And sex a bit loose, but that's about it. And then it's just loads of softcore porn scenes entwined in between. Then and they weren't so bad on this one, I got to be honest. They sort of came and went, but then I got on to the second one, and oh my god, the softcore porn scenes in this, they were just going on and on and on and on. I had to just fast forward them in the end because it was so boring. But anyway, so this one, like that, the first one didn't have a lot of plot. This one is just so complex, I just didn't even know what was going on. It was just throwing storyline after storyline at you, and it was too concerned with the 40-minute sex scenes anyway. So this one wasn't as good. The first one, I'd say, was probably 3 out of 5 because it had good practical effects at the end with the demon and all that, like, and it had a little bit of gore, so I didn't mind that. This one was really all about the porn. There's some funny bits in, like these two brothers, and they're fucking like the Chuckle Brothers, and the one's like holding up this rope bloody bed thing so the other one can have sex like in the trees, and he's holding it up like, and you know, like he's like, don't let go brother, don't let go brother. There's this bird's riding him like in this bloody, what do they call him, like a hammock. But apart from a bit of humour, there wasn't much going on in that one. And then number 3, so I wasn't in the right mood for this one in the end, because I was a bit done by watching 2 of them in a row, but I thought, solid, let's just get it done. So I watched this one, and actually I would say this one was probably the best of the 3. Definitely had the more linear storyline, even though it was still crazy, but it was just basically about this guy, like, and he goes to this realm of fantasy, and he's got to come back within 12 hours, but obviously he don't, and so his girlfriend goes looking for him in this realm, and this other guy, like, and this got like these, I don't know, type ghosts in it and witches and whatever, like, and yeah, this again, there's loads of porn, like softcore. At this point I just fast forwarded every porn scene in this one. I watched them in the first one, watched a bit of them in the second one, and just fast forwarded every single one in this one. And but this one was alright. It had some good practical effects. It's got a bit of a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of vibe to it in one part, or an inner space, if you could describe it as that, like. But yeah, this one wasn't so bad. So first one was like the best for the practical effects and the gore. The second one I would say is probably the best if you want like full-on porn all the way through, and this one's probably the best if you want a more linear storyline and you're happy to fast forward the porn. But anyway, so that's the 3 of them. There was no real extras on the second 2 apart from like trailers and whatever, but the first one had an amazing extra on. The first one had like an interview with like the director and maybe some of the producers, but it's like at the beachside resort, like there's like all bloody straw roof bloody like bars in the background, and anyway, and the women come out who were in the film all in their bikinis, and like they're all being interviewed together, the guys who made the film, the women, and the guys are so like, not rude as in nasty, but so like bloody sexist towards them, and like constantly like making jokes about their bloody boobs and whatever, like, you know. So but it's just to see, because it's of his time. It's a bit like MTV used to do, MTV on the beach or whatever. It's a bit like that, but for Chinese cat-free cinema. So yeah, erotic ghost story. And then I didn't really think I was going to get this one, but magically it came back in stock, so I ordered it. It was the Trick or Treat limited edition box set, and I managed to get cover A as well. I know a lot of people ended up with cover C because that was the one that sold the least quick, and they weren't too happy with it, the burgundy one, although I wouldn't have minded having the burgundy one, I gotta be fair. From red shirt pictures, so this is owned by Michael Felcher, I think you say his name, and he's had the rights for ages. This has been a long time in the making, but it finally came, and yeah, it was worth it. Hardback box, very expensive release, like I think it retailed at $66.66 when it first came out, but by the time you pay your import charges and delivery charges, I think I had to pay about 75 quid for it, which is mad really, but I don't know, everyone else was buying this, so Bumper wanted it. So I still kept the J card, just put it inside. Loads of special features if you can see them. Poster, good book, plenty of stuff to read about in there. And then the Amaray. I reversed the cover, I'm pretty sure. So this is famous for having Ozzy Osbourne in it, although he's not in it for that long and he's wearing a shirt and tie, so it's not the Ozzy you'd come to expect. Got your art cards. And then another booklet here, but it's just like a catalogue for Diabolic. I got it off Diabolic, first time I've ever bought off them. No problem, so I buy one off them again, no problem. 3-discer. So happy days. So I watched this, but it's a while ago now, so I can't remember loads about it, but I remember enjoying it. Bit of a fantasy, supernatural type movie. Got the old playing the records backwards to summon the devil and all that, like. So about a boy, he's being bullied at school, like, and this rock star comes back to, like, to help him build his confidence or whatever. But obviously he's going around killing people at the same time. So yeah, so that's Trick or Treat. I would highly recommend this. This film was better than I thought it was going to be. I don't usually like heavy metal horror, because I'm not a big fan of heavy metal music. But this was really good. It was just a fun 80s movie, like, you know, does what it says on the tin sort of thing, and it wasn't sort of like overpowered with heavy metal vibes or whatever, you know. It's just the right mix, really. So that is Trick or Treat. Then the last one, I think this is one that I waited about 2 months for, again, a long time in the making, only ever had a DVD release, from the 90s, and that is Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, so this is from TerraVision. Again, don't buy a lot from TerraVision, but I wanted to get this one because anyone who like rented videos in the 90s, was born in the year I was born in, has seen this film or at least come across it. So made by the same guy who done Leprechaun, similar film to Leprechaun, really. Leprechaun's a bit gorier, which I was surprised at, really, because this one come after, but wicked artwork, wicked colours, all the greens and the purples. Here's the back. And you've got a poster there of old Uncle Rumple. And booklet. Plenty going on there. And lovely slipcover. That's the back. I don't know which is the back and which is the front, to be fair, but it's all Rumple there. And you open him up. Nice 4K Amaray case. Don't think it had reversible art. No, it was just a picture on the back. And then it's a 3-discer again. I think one of them might be the CD though. Yeah, the third disc is the CD soundtrack. I thought this was part of the film, but apparently this is something Diabolic do. They sent me a mystery fish and a sherbet straw, but the sherbet straw's gone. So that's a bit funny. But then in with this release, you get like an art card, but it's got like a rhyme on it by Rumpelstiltskin. And then you get a second book. That's the thing. There was 2 books with this, more essays. I managed to squeeze them all in the Amaray case. At first, this was just loose, separate with it, but there's just about enough room to squeeze it all in. So yeah, so two booklets, can't fault it. So yeah, this film was really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not going to win any Oscars, but if you like the old 90s horror, these dark fairy tale movies, then I don't see any reason why you won't like this one. Like I said, same director as Leprechaun, so if you like Leprechaun, then it's just more of the same, really, I guess. Alright, so that is Rumpelstiltskin. That's about it for my hauls then, for about the last 4 or 5 weeks. So I just talked now about a couple of films I watched, and we'll be done, really. So talking about some of the movies I watched, I watched a couple of bootlegs. I do these bootlegs myself, so I watch them sometimes. People order them, and then if I think I want to watch the film, I'll give it a go. So I watched Companion. So yeah, this was okay. It's an AI movie, you know, this AI, high advanced AI from Japan, whatever, costs £30,000. It's like buying a girlfriend, like buying a Thai bride. And this guy buys one and he brings her, introduces her to his friends and all that, like, and it just all goes a little bit out of control. So it was okay. Problem with these movies is they've been done a dime a dozen now, these AI disaster movies. What's going to happen if AI gets too advanced and all this. This one, it didn't bring a lot different to the table, but it was good, like, you know, it was well acted, there was some good gore in it, it had a couple of twists, but just don't expect to see anything you haven't seen before. Companion. And then I watched another bootleg I'd done, The Gorge. Now, everyone was telling me this was really good, including my son, so I thought I'd watch it, but I should have known straight away what I'm going to be for me. First of all, I thought we were going to get an hour and a half of these two over one side of the gorge each, passing notes. you know. But luckily, that didn't go on for too long. And the action kicked in quite quick, but it was just crap, like it was just all over CGI, like these fucking tree men down in this gorge and these man-eating trees. It was like biological horror. But I think got Anya Taylor-Joy. I don't know, Miles Teller, I don't really rate that much anyway, but Anya Taylor-Joy, she is just wasted in a film like this. There's no charisma between the two leads whatsoever. So I didn't really enjoy this one that much, but I know people did, so I'm not going to put you off, but just know it's just another action-heavy, CGI-heavy, style over substance type movie that is just on for too long as well. Like, don't need it to be on for over 2 hours. But The Gorge. Now, another one I watched is End of the Line. This is from about 2007, something like that. And this came out by Television. It was only a standard release. I wouldn't know anything about it, but someone asked me if I could get them a copy. So yeah, I did. And I watched it myself. So it was a bit of like a religious horror, a bit like a cross between a Midnight Meat Train and well, I can't really think of anything else as a cross between, because it was slightly original, like, you know, it's just a bit low budget, like you could just tell, like, you know, it didn't ooze production value. But no, it was all right, like, you know, I can't remember a lot about it because I've seen it a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, it was worth a watch. I probably would watch that one again, End of the Line. Then a couple of other films I watched just on streaming. I'll try and put an image up here. So I watched The Borderlack. It's like I was on about that Black Sabbath earlier. After I watched that Black Sabbath show about The Borderlack, I seen there was a movie out just from a year ago. I think it's like a French movie, and it's like, you know, an extended run time, because that was only a short, and this was like an hour and a half of The Borderlack Tale. It was really good. It's really quirky. It was funny in places, creepy in places. So if you get a chance to watch it, I would definitely recommend watching that one, The Borderlack. I also watched Dogman, which was like RoboCop for kids. It's a bit devastating, this movie. Like, you could never make it live action or with real people, because some of the stuff that happens in it is so traumatic. Like, deals with like loss and grief, and just some of it's really heavy. But it was a good film. Me and my son watched it, and I knew when my son likes a film, because he'll watch it again the next night and the next night for about 5 nights in a row, and that's what happened. So I watched it about 4 times. But yeah, it's pretty good, Dogman. I gotta be fair, I did enjoy it. All right, and then one other thing I'm going to do then quickly before I depart, just to have a quick look at some of the releases that are coming out in March now. March, oh my God, the last week of March is insane. It's so stacked. I'll try and put some images up here, but just ignore me as I'm looking away from the camera on my laptop by here. So first week of March, then March the 3rd, Arrow are bringing out Dressed to Kill 4K. Now, they're shipping those already, so you could order that today and you'd have it in a couple of days. I haven't got around to it yet with everything else, but I'm definitely getting it. But I like Brian De Palma. He's a good director, and I really want to see Dressed to Kill. I want to get more Michael Caine in me. I haven't seen a lot of Michael Caine films apart from the obvious ones. So yeah, I wouldn't mind upping my knowledge on Michael Caine movies. Got Constantine 4K Steelbook. Won't be bothering with that. Social Network's coming out on 4K. There's another Arrow release, Play It Cool, a Japanese movie. I'm probably not going to bother with that, to be honest. Like, I'm running out of room and the money don't stretch as far as you'd want it to. There's a Gladiator 2 Steelbook. Satan's Blood is coming out by Treasured Films, so I will probably end up getting that one at some point. I don't buy them as soon as they come out, Treasured Films, because I'm just so committed to other labels, and you've got to draw a line somewhere. But I do buy their releases like when they go on sale or when I got some spare cash or whatever. Not much else jumping out at me really. Got that Lord of the Rings, War for Rohirrim or whatever it's called. There's a new label that looks like they're coming out. They're only doing Blu-rays in the UK. They're called Fabulous, The Fabulous or something. It looks like they're releasing Dragnet from 1987, out of sight from 1998 with Jennifer Lopez. I'll have to get that one. And The Serpent and the Rainbow. So yeah, so that's a new British label. So they just Blu-ray releases, a bit like Final Cut. That was the first week of March. And the second week of March, so we got The Terminal Man. I think I might have called it The Andromeda Man earlier. So The Terminal Man, I've got that one on pre-order on a Blu-ray. It's only coming out on Blu-ray anyway, they're not releasing the 4K. So like I said, word to the wise, if you want that, you can get that and 2 other nice Blu-rays with slip covers for £45. So it's worth having a look. Wicked's coming out on 4K, but that won't be my thing really. The beta test from Arrow, or the beta test, it's only a standard release. I have seen that movie. It's more of a modern day horror. It was alright actually. So that's that Jim Cummins, who everyone seems to like. And then March the 17th, then, so the 3rd week of March, this is quite good because Arrow are releasing Deep Blue Sea on 4K, so I definitely have that one. So this time next month when you check back, you'll be seeing that one and I'll watch it, so I'll give you some of my thoughts on it. Indicator Powerhouse are doing 2 4K box sets, Thirst and Harlequin. So I do like Indicator Powerhouse. They put a lot of work into their releases and they're very underrated. But I just, again, like, there's so many labels to collect. I'm not on them as soon as they come out. But one day when they do this sale, because they have good sales, I'm just going to go there with like 300 quid and just buy all their 4K big boxes. Because like I said, they are wicked. I had 2 of them, 2 Orphan Vampires and Shiver of the Vampire by Soul and Both when I was a bit skint, because they're one of the only things I had to see actually give you a decent price for. I even watched them thinking to myself, if I put them on now and I can tell myself this shit, I won't mind selling them. But I put them both on and they were both wicked. Both like had this wicked gothic atmosphere or whatever, like, and I couldn't stop watching, especially 2 Orphan Vampires. So I was gutted in the end. So I do want to get them all back and just get all their 4Ks. Because they don't release that many, so it's not that difficult. You're only talking about maybe 12 4Ks, like. So that's happy days. There's some standard releases. There's some stuff from Eureka, Phantomas, Judex, whatever that is. There's some standard releases from Arrow, Last House on the Left, Ringu. And like I said, this is the week before. This is the 4th week, so there's 5 release Mondays in March. So 24th, Arrow are doing Don't Torture a Duckling, but we already got that. There's a Panic Room Steelbook coming out. There's some stuff from Radiance, but again, I'm not collecting Radiance. There's some 88 film stuff. I don't really get the porn stuff, so if it's got the pink thing down the side, the pink like J card, I don't bother with it. But there's Castaway coming out, then they got Pinocchio 964, which is on the Japan Anarchy range from 88, so I will get that one. And you've got Short Night of the Glass Dolls on 4K from 88. Can't wait for that one, of some Italian giallo. Godzilla vs. Biolante from Criterion. I wouldn't mind that, but I haven't got the other Godzilla yet. But the Biolante one has always been hard to get on decent quality, so that'll be a good release, that one. It wouldn't surprise me if that one sells fast. 88 Films again are doing some more slasher classics. They're releasing Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, which is amazing, but I won't be buying that because I've already got it on 4K. Anything else tickling my fancy? Not really. Savage Guns from Arrow. I don't know if that's a new edition for classic westerns or whether it's just a re-release. There's not really much else. Everything else just looks like re-releases. I gotta be fair, stuff we've already seen. And then yeah, so The Killer, March the 31st, Monday, March the 31st. So first of all, you got Second Sight, 2 4K box sets, Scanners, and The Brood. So that's 80 quid before you even start. Then you've got 3 Quentin Tarantino steelbooks, all 4K. Kill Bill, 1, 2, and Jackie Brown. Originally, I wasn't going to get Jackie Brown, and I was going to get the Kill Bills, because I'm the opposite to everyone else with their Quentin Tarantino movies. Everyone says that Kill Bills and Death Proof are the worst Tarantino films. They always come bottom of the rankings. I think they're the best. Death Proof I can just watch and watch and watch. And Kill Bill 1 and 2 has got so many Easter eggs in it to the films I used to love, like the Shaw Brothers and all that. I just love it. It's just like watching a fanboy make the best fanboy movie ever. And then like with the ones like Once Upon a Time in America and Django and The Hard Eight, I don't find them rewatchable. I watch them once and they're on for so long I don't really want to watch them again. And Inglourious Bastards. That's why I'm surprised they always end up further up the list. Death Proof, I know it's only 90 minutes, but it's a kick-ass 90 minutes, isn't it? And I just love it anyway. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with these, because you're talking £80 for the Second Sight stuff, and then you're going to be talking another, I would say 90 quid for the 3 steel books, £30 each. So you're talking, you're talking about 170 already. Then you've got Four-Sided Triangle 4K, which is the second big box Hammer release. So I'm going to have to get that because I got Captain Kronos. So already you're past £200. And then you've got Trancers from 101. Again, 101, I love them, but it's just another label that I can't buy on release because it just costs too much money with everything. So they're releasing Trancers, which is a full moon movie, which is wicked. I love all the Charles Band stuff, so I do want to get that. So that's going to go on the list, but maybe we'll be able to get it straight away. The Substance is out. There's another Blu-ray of Memories of a Murder, the Bong Joon film. So yeah, which is absolutely awesome. I do want to get one version of that sooner or later. There is a 4K out of it. I don't think it's an English release. So if you add those on as well, you know, you're up on about £220, £250 if you wanted everything that month. I'll have to draw the line somewhere. I won't be able to get it all. I can guarantee you that I'll be getting the Second Sight releases. But then the rest will just be, you know, will I or won't I? So yeah, so that's March. Plenty to look forward to. These people who say physical media is dead, they obviously haven't checked the release schedule on Blu-ray database because it's all going on. Anyway, then I've been Bumba. Thanks for watching, and if I don't catch you before, I'll catch you on next month's video. But I will catch you before because I got some other stuff coming up. So catch you soon.